While most direct-to-video sequels to Disney's animated films have been much of a miss than a hit with me, this one, however, managed to be a good one that I like. So let's get ready to feel the power from the circle of life again. Here's my review of The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Back days, entertainment rankings and reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1998 animated direct-to-video musical drama flick, The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, released by Disney as a direct sequel to the 1994 animated film of The Lion King. This time, it's, well, as much as its predecessor was influenced by Hamlet, this film's plot was influenced by Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, and was directed by Darrell Rooney, who, according to him, the final draft gradually became a variation of Romeo and Juliet. The film was released on video October 27th in 1998. Now, the film centers on Simba and Nala's daughter Kiara, who falls in love with a lion from a banished pride once loyal to Scar named Kovu. And separated by Simba's prejudice against the pride and a vindictive plot planned by Kovu's mother Zira, Kiara and Kovu struggle to unite their estranged prides and be together. Most of the original cast returned to voice their roles from the first film, with a few exceptions. Now, Rowan Atkinson, who voiced Zazu in the first film, was replaced by Edward Hilbert for both this and the next one, which I'll talk about. Jeremy Irons, who voiced Scar in the first film, was replaced by Jim Cummings, who briefly provided his singing voice in the first film. While not drawing the same attention as its predecessor, the film received positive reviews, though. Now, before I get started, if you have not seen my re-review of the first film, I would appreciate if you do. Click on that card and you'll get a chance to see it in case you might have missed it, or if you'd like to see it again. I would appreciate it. That ought to do it. Alright, now on with the story. King Simba and Queen Nala's newborn daughter Kiara is presented to the gathered animals of the Pridelands. After Kiara has grown into a young cub, she becomes frustrated with her father's parenting. So Simba has his childhood friends Timon and Pumbaa accompany her out of concern for her safety. Over Simba's protestations, Kiara wanders off alone into the barren outlands, home to an enemy pride of Scar's exiled followers called the Outsiders, and encounters another cub, Kovu. After narrowly escaping a crocodile-infested river, they become friendly with each other. When Simba comes across Kovu and Kiara playing, he misinterprets it as fighting and confronts Kovu just as he is confronted by his mother and Outsiders leader, Zira. Simba later explains to her the responsibilities of queenship and that everyone is a part of each other. Zira, who is secretly training Kovu as an assassin, realizes she can use her son's friendship with Kiara to kill Simba and usurp the throne. Meanwhile, the spirit of Simba's deceased father Mufasa plans to bring Kiara and Kovu together to reunite the Pridelanders and the Outsiders. Years later, an adult Kovu rescues Kiara after his older siblings Nuka and Vatani start a wildfire during her first solo hunt. Alerted to Kiara's location, Simba accepts Kovu's offer to join the Pridelanders, though he remains suspicious of his motives. Later, while training Kiara in hunting, Kovu begins second-guessing his mission to kill Simba and tells Kiara he is not Scar's actual son. Simba's friend and advisor, Rafiki, leads the lions to the jungle and helps them fall in love by introducing them to Opendi, a form of Apendo, which means love in Swahili. At Nala's persuasion, Simba has Kovu spend the night inside Pride Rock with the rest of the Pridelanders. Vitaly, however, secretly sends word back to Zira about Kovu's failure to kill Simba. Now, for the ending, as always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. The next morning, Simba shows Kovu the Pride Lands and tells him the truth about Scar. The outsiders launch an ambush on Simba, who Zira tricks into thinking Kovu has planned this event. In the ensuing battle, Nuka is killed and Simba escapes. Kovu subsequently turns on Zira and pleads Simba for forgiveness, but is instead exiled. Kiara makes Simba realize he is acting irrationally and personally searches for Kovu. Upon reuniting, Kiara and Kovu realize they must resolve the conflict between the Pridelanders and the Outsiders. So they return to the Pride Lands as a battle breaks out between the two prides. Kiara and Kovu successfully convince them to stop fighting. Zira, however, tries attacking Simba, but is thrown off a nearby cliff to her death. So in the end, following the battle, Simba welcomes the rest of the outsiders, including Kovu, back into the Pride Lands, thus finally reuniting them with the Pridelanders. During a later celebration on Pride Rock, Simba witnesses Mufasa's spirit congratulating him in the story. So what did I think of The Lion King 2 Simba's Pride? Well, as I said earlier in the video, a lot of these direct-to-video films, or should I say sequels, Disney's great animated films have been mostly a miss than a hit, but this one I like in a way because it is a pretty good continuation to the Lion King story. Anyway, it did make a premiere at Wadsworth Theater in West Los Angeles just a few days prior. After that, it was released on video cassette. And and then the following year, it got released on DVD as a limited issue. Anyway, the film eventually became so incredible and what have you. I've seen it just a few times, and not so much as its predecessor, but I feel like this has a good feel to it. The film currently sits at 67% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I didn't talk about too many reviews of its predecessor. Siskel and Ebert gave the film 2 thumbs up and said it was a satisfactory sequel to one of the most popular films of all time. However, they also said it was best that it went to video, citing that the music was lacking and not remotely equal to the original soundtrack. Yeah, because we didn't get much good songs and what have you, like Hakuna Matata or Be Prepared and Can't Wait to Be King, which those were 2 songs I failed to mention in my video. But yeah, those 2 songs were pretty good. But anywho, yeah. TV Guide claimed in their review with 2.5 stars that despite being of slightly higher quality than Disney's previous direct-to-video animated sequels, this comes nowhere near the level of its big screen predecessor, either musically or artistically. The review later states, though most of the original characters and their voices are back, they all sound bored, apart from the zesty addition of Suzanne Pleshette as the scheming Zira. The overall result is okay for kids who will enjoy the low humor provided by the comical meerkat Timon and the flatulent warthog Pumbaa, but it could have been so much better. True, but nevertheless, I found this film to be pretty good. It has lots of pretty good tunes. hmm So I'm gonna say I found it to be good. There's a penny. He lives in you. We are one. Love will find a way, and there's lots of other tunes as well. Now, of course, the Lion Guard series that came on Disney Junior in 2016 was actually a continuation, what have you, following its TV pilot, The Lion Guard Return to Roar in 2015. Now, the majority of the series takes place during the years in between Kiara's first meeting with Kovu as a cub and her first hunt as a young adult. And of course, it focuses on Kiara's younger brother Kian, who, as second born, becomes leader of the Lion Guard, a group who protect the Pride Lands and defend the Circle of Life. So anyway, yeah, really something. I've never actually seen the Lion Guard, but I've heard of it though. So now for our cast, we have Matthew Broderick back in the role of Simba, who is very, very good. Now, unlike the previous film, Cam Clark, best known for voicing Leonardo and Rocksteady in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series, provided the singing voice. I'm going to start with the ones who actually return. Moira Kelly returns as Nala. She's still good. Nathan Lane's back as Timon, still good as always. And Ernie Sabella as Pumbaa. They were all good. And of course, Robert Gillam as Rafiki. They were all very good. We also hear James Earl Jones as Mufasa. And well, of course, while they had Jim Cummings back in a brief, in as Scar in a brief cameo, well, you know that. Now, for the new characters, we have Kiara. Her her young version was voiced by Michelle Horn, while her grown-up version was voiced by Neve Campbell, who, after recently doing the first two Scream films, as well as The Craft, and also as a big star on TV's Party of Five. Then there's Kovu, who was voiced by Ryan O'Donoghue as the young version. The adult version was voiced by Jason Marsden, who recently voiced, well, the Disney character, or should I say, Goofy's son, Max Goof. Which, of course, he recently did that in a Goofy movie. And he also had recently voiced Kevin a few times on Disney's Adventures of the Gummy Bears. So he recently had worked with Disney before. He also worked on other shows Disney produced, like Marsupilami and the Snookums and Meat Funny Cartoon Show. Oh yes, and Jungle Cubs, which of course that was a recent hit for Disney, just which had ended a year before this film was released. He also lent his voice to other series. Recess was another one. The Buzz Lightyear animated series was one of them. So was The Weekenders and lots of others. So yeah. Now, Suzanne Pleshette voiced Zira. Yes, now Plechette's done numerous work for Disney as well, so she did a pretty good job. Now, Kathleen Turner had originally been cast as her, but she talked about the role and even sang a portion of the character's song, saying the film would be her singing debut during an interview on the Rosie O'Donnell show in March of that year in 1998. Yeah, but, well, let's see. Now, Edward Hibbert voiced Zazu this time. He's fine. Meredith Scotland voiced Vitani, the grown-up version, while her young version's voiced by Lacey Chabert, who of course went on to voice Eliza Thornberry on Nickelodeon's hit The Wild Thornberrys. And of course, she would later go on to appear in Mean Girls and do voice acting work in other films and what have you. And Nuka is voiced by Andy Dick, who did pretty good as well. So the cast is pretty good too. So Overall, The Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, well, may not have come close to its predecessor though, but it still is a good continuation. I think the direction's not too bad. I do like the characters, old and new, and I feel like its music isn't too bad here. Not quite as good as the first film, but it manages to do its extreme best. So overall, I think it's a good sequel. So would I recommend it? I would say yes, go for it. The film, you can possibly probably still find the film. It also later got released on physical media. I think. Hang on a second. Whoops, wrong one. It got released in a Blu-ray combo pack along with the next film, The Lion King 1.5, in 2017. If you can't find it, the film's currently streaming on Disney Plus. So what did you think of The Lion King 2 Simba's Pride? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. And join me next time when I bring to you a review of The Lion King 1.5. So if you like this, you may want to consider checking out my reviews for some of these other Disney films that were direct to video. Well, here's two of them, and they're follow-ups to The Little Mermaid. In the upper left-hand corner is The Little Mermaid 2, which was not too bad in the upper left-hand corner. The upper right-hand corner is my review of its prequel, Ariel's Beginning, which is a little better. Or if you would like maybe something else, well, I'd say you can check out my review for Disney's recent anime feature from last year, which kind of slightly underperformed, and I'll just throw it in for you anyway, Wish. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.